You know what bugs me about this dang phone? Is I just realized that it forced me to turn it in a right-handed way. The fixed you, didn't I? These friends. I had wished rotate devices. It's sitting here at this device. Let's play along together, shall we? I guess whatever. It's easier this way. You know that, right, YouTube? Okay, so here we are. Sunday morning, about 9 o'clock. And last week we had a little visitor come in and say that the floor was going to get finished. That was a lofty goal. You're not on the wrong internet connection. I might have fixed it. We're on the house connection. This house has 2 internet connections. A little dream that I've got that on hold for 4 months now. But we got some floor, and it's actually uglier the closer you look. So we're just going to one of the things I like to portray to the community is altruism. How can we take the things that we learn and appreciate in this hobby and give it back? Kind of give somebody a nudge in the ribs and say, hey, I learned something great from this guy this week. Now, I'm going to be doing these live streams every Sunday. I'm kind of claiming my spot here. I didn't have the bench set up this week, and that's my thing. That's what I'm supposed to do here. But it's not hooked up. We're not in that kind of spot. And I want to claim this Sunday morning thing because, 3 or 4 years ago, this is the time when I started doing this thing. So I kind of like this time doing the streaming thing. So altruism. That Luke Towan came out with a great video. I just put a heads out to Luke Towan that I'm going to start using some of his video editing techniques. I might copy him outright just to see if he likes it. Not to say he's copying anything from me, but I'm just saying he's doing really good. And I really don't know what I'm doing in terms of video editing. So I'm going to start doing a little bit of one-on-one on that guy. And also Ken Patterson, my friend Ken Patterson, he's been doing really good. I'm going to start trying to lift a few ideas from him. I think your name's Dave, isn't it? Mr. 420. On Wednesday of this week, actually, we get a little Tom, that's what it was. We met at Springfield, I believe, though, right? Tom, that's what it was. Sorry, buddy. Yeah. Luke Towan, altruism. Share the people who you like in your hobby, and you know what? There's a lot of people out there doing self-promotion, and you know what? That's a necessary evil. However, I don't see anybody doing altruism. I've heard a lot of people say they want to do these YouTube videos to spread the hobby, to improve the hobby, to do their thing towards the hobby. And I think one of the most important things that you could do to benefit your hobby is to learn what the word altruism means and live it. Mickey, good morning. You know, one of these days I'm going to learn how to keep the chat up. There we go. Maybe if I touch the screen. There we go. No, Tom, there's also a Dave Muse, though. Correct? Dang thing. I got to figure out this live stream thing. There's a whole chat, and it's really convenient. But the inconvenient part is it disappears when I'm about to read it. So I tried to touch the screen, and that just don't do nothing. So today we're going to work on this floor again. Word has it. And all I'm waiting for is my big brown desk to come out and get set up. And once that thing gets set up, I think my magic fire comes back. As it stands right now, it's really hard to build anything. Like, I've got a little goofy setup over there, but I'm just not feeling it. It feels like I'm 4 years old and I've been given the little table to sit at with all the munchkins. Hey Randy, how you doing? So I can't really do this thing there. I tried to get it up and running, but my old my old selfie cam that you always see me do my videos in, it's probably recording 70% of the content I try to record, and a lot of content is yeah, you're right. But a lot of the content gets corrupted on the disc with the old camera. So I'm telling you guys, I'm being challenged in every way in terms of getting back to streaming. However, I think it might be next weekend when I get the first legit live stream up where we can sit and talk and have a lot of fun. I can't wait. I really feel like it's been way too long. I feel like I just feel like I've been out of town too long, and I need to sit down, to pull a seat up at the bar and, just hang out. So I'm hoping that next weekend we're going to have, well, I'll tell you this right now, I've got 3 kits to build, and that's pretty insane. Oh, I wanted to give a shout out to our buddy Todd Walton. The other day I saw on Facebook that I believe his wife or partner put up that Todd's been in intensive care, ICU, for the last month, in and out of ICU, having troubles, and asking for prayers. It's the hardest part of this hobby, the people that you're super supporters like Todd, and then you find out that they're human just like you, and they're going through troubles. I just gotta say, you know what, Todd, I've been praying like hell for you. I'm not a big prayer, but I actually did, and hope you get better. So full disclosure, everybody, I got a message. The message went out on a Facebook to the world. I saw it. I messaged. I prayed, and a day and a half later, I guess he's doing a little bit better. But you know what? I feel like that guy's part of my family, because he's one of those guys who emailed me out of nowhere, like this job of this little part-time job I've got. I wake up early in the morning, go to work like everybody else, a few days a week. Come on, I do it my way. Anyways, but it takes a lot of ambition and creativity to always come up with something new. It takes creativity and ambition to build kit after kit after kit with seemingly the same instructions. Like I don't really talk about that kind of stuff, but the writer's block comes from when you're talking over and over and over and over about bracing the damn wall. So it takes a little bit of constant thinking about how I'm going to come up with something new. And Todd was one of those gentlemen and scholars who noticed what kind of challenge that is, and he gave me a project that knocked my socks off. One that we had to get custom cut, one that came from a magazine, that article that was written around the time I was frickin' born. Man, Todd's a class act. Todd's exactly what we're looking for here. And I love you, Todd. You take it easy, okay, brother? And give me an email, for fuck's sakes. I sent the emails. I'm here for you. Actually, tell you the truth, I got the phone hooked up. First time in 4 months I've had a phone hooked up. You have a structure on your layout that Todd built? Randy, send me a picture. I'd love to see it. I'm Todd's project. We did the majority of the building in August, and those videos are out there. It's called the Patreon Build Todd Walton. I actually gotta say that's probably in my top 10 scratch builds that I've done. It's not really totally a scratch build because there's some custom cut clapboard walls, but I'd like to see anybody scratch build these clapboard walls and look at me like with a brave face. So yeah, it's in my top 10 of my most favorite scratch builds that I've ever done. It's actually number one because of the way Todd got in touch with me and how it all came together. There's nothing better than having somebody pay you to make a free YouTube video for the rest of the world. Jesus Christ. He didn't pay me. I'm volunteered. So what is that all about? Let's finish that thought, shall we? Sunday morning. Only got half a coffee in me. Look at this coffee. This pitiful state of coffee. Bugger's still half full. So I'm a custom builder. But the thing that really bothers me about this gig is shipping models. I've had so many models get ruined by Canada Post and US Postal Service and UPS and all these other horseshit delivery companies that just, like, what happened to quality over quantity? It's pretty sad when I have to consider driving a model to Australia because of the way shipping companies handle their packages. You know what I mean? It's just ridiculous. So I don't like shipping, and that's pretty much the biggest part of custom building. And hey, Creative Rails, how you doing? So, doing these Patreon builds, I will go the extra mile and have UPS box up the model and send it back. And sure, that costs about 50, $60, but I make over $100 a month on Patreon. So that's something that I can give back, right? So when I'm shipping these things, I don't have to deal with a client who's already pissed off at the amount they paid to build the model, have me build the model. And then, there's this shipping dance where they don't want to pay any more money, but I'm like, this model's not going to make it to your house, buddy. So with this Patreon thing, there is no money problems. I get sent an email by a patron supporter who's already given me a couple of bucks. Even if it is $1 a month, I don't give a rat's ass. That's support that I like. And it's pretty much at cost. Like if there's, how much does Ron make off of a Patreon build? Doesn't have to be anything. Yeah, sure, I appreciate a tip at the end of a project, but that always happens. And not everybody gives those tips, or they don't. We live in a different world today. And I think that altruism is a word that is ignored, maybe because it's hard to say the 3 syllables. But I think that when you take the time that the spotlight is put on you to shine the light on others, you've got, you're building up your karma credits. And even if karma doesn't exist, who cares? You just look good doing it. So today, he doesn't even need a shout out. Luke Towan. The guy's pulled in all the views already. But that's the video I watched this week, was Luke Towan's video, and I was quite impressed. We share a lot of the same techniques, but I'm still impressed. So what's going on with you guys? Next week we're going to have a live stream Sunday. I'm going to have my darn desk. I'm going to have a table to sit my coffee on instead of these damn 2x6s. What do we want to do each week? That's another thing. I've got kind of like a variety hour set up. I don't want to sit in front of the camera like these last 2 or 3 live streams and just yammer at the camera for an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. We're going to have it where I start the stream and have a coffee with y'all and let people come in, and I'll start yammering a little bit like this. But, after 10 or 15 minutes, we'll break on into what today's project will be. Next week, I was gonna start on a kit that was sent to us. We've got 2 kits that have been sent to us for free, and I've got to get those builds out. However, with the situation with Todd, my priority is to get that model done in a box into his house post haste. Everything else can screw off. That's the way I feel about it. Hope you're okay with that. Now, and that's another thing. For all you guys who are new here, I'm like a construction worker. I work outside. I'm really rough around the edges. I'm not a big drinker, but I do drink every now and then. But when I was young, holy caca, I was a mess. So I'm just that kind of guy. I'm rough around the edges. I'm a free thinker. Yeah, carpenter, construction, same thing. I started outside on the roof as a teenager doing roofing jobs. I learned that that was a bullshit place to sit yourself in a sunny day. So I started framing. Framing's good because you build the roof and then there's no more sun to hide from. I started out as a roofer when I was a teenager. I was a framer throughout my 20s. And when I turned 28, I started building stairs. You're a carpenter too. Jeepers creepers, creative. What the hell? I know nothing about you. Huh, that's crazy. There's a guy named Frank Varga too, who's from our area. Lives within. He won't answer my emails. It's kind of silly. I don't even know if he uses. I don't even know what to say about it because I sent him a message on 3 different platforms. He's clearly ignoring me. But Frank Varga is supposed to be a really good modeler too. He's a really good modeler and a framer too. But yeah, I was on a podcast, the HO Scale Customs Bench Time podcast. Oh, that was a lot of fun. Well, they weren't my first job, Mickey. Sorry. My first job was delivering papers back in 1987. I was 12 years old, and shortly thereafter we moved to a farm, and my second job was milking cows when I was 13. And that cow milking job was all year long, and in the fall I primed tobacco. My back still aches when I hear that word, Dilsenberg. Yeah, I primed tobacco for 2 seasons, and holy crap, was that a hard job. Well, it wasn't really a hard job. You're just sitting in a god-awful position. It's an awful job. So those were my first 2 jobs. Yeah. I love being in construction because you know what? It's all about those people who work and those people who don't work. Yeah, tobacco, yeah. You know what? It makes you who you are. You know? I've always been a hard worker. And I mostly am a hard worker because I don't want to stand there and talk all day. I find that, when you're standing around and talking all day, time just seems to drag on. But when you're sweating buckets, time just seems to fly. So I'm a sweating buckets kind of guy. Right on. Yeah. This rural life is something to be appreciated, I think. I love being out in the country. But you know what? We've got a half an hour here. I know that I'm going to do really long live streams in the future. But I don't want to kill this with these boring, rambling, pacing vlogs or whatever the hell they are. Just want to say that I'm here. I'm really pumped about, doing some entertaining stuff. And Arkansas, Prattsville. There used to be a commercial up here in Canada called "There Ain't No Cafe in Plattsville." It's not true though. There's a cafe there. I've been there, done it. So yeah. So next week we're gonna try to get some model building in. I'm going to entertain you. Well, I've got hours and hours of live streams on this channel, but I unlist them because I find that when you're doing a long hour-long live stream, it's only entertaining to the people who are in chat, who are involved with the live bits. And thank you very much, Randy, guy. I'm unique, and I don't want to ever belittle anybody else or step on anybody else's toes. And as a matter of fact, if any of you guys see somebody that, would be the type of person that I could help, I don't need to help anybody improve. I'll just help them get, eyeballs. What did you just say there? My walks, like about this long farmland and stuff like that. I've got a bad habit of going to family events and thinking to myself, hey, it's time for a walk. Last one was the Canadian Thanksgiving on last Friday. I took my son for a walk down to an airport so we could see an airplane land right over top of our heads, like right at the end of the runway. It was a 2-hour walk. Oh, well, that's me. So I'm going to shut this thing down. I think half an hour is good. I've got a whiteboard. Let's see, there's the whiteboard right there, ready for all the plans. I'm going to have, I'm going to try to produce these shows in such a way that there's a beginning, there's a body, and then there's a closeout. And I want to support somebody new in each stream, or help somebody get a leg up on this YouTube if that's what their passion is. So thanks for watching, guys. If you're new to the cast, after the cast, I want you to go into the comments and comment where you're from. I think nobody's new here, but you know what? Thanks guys for watching. It's been great. You know what? I just want to say something for real between me and you. This whole YouTube thing has been great. It's given me an opportunity to do the things that I want to do in life without having some kind of outside weird definition change everything that I've, like you know how people like get jealous of you and change what you're supposed to, your point of view is supposed to be. I seem to be getting that a lot these days, and while on these streams, I can fight against that directly, and I'm pretty happy about that. Have a great day. It's Sunday. Tell your family you love them or something like that. Talk to you later, friends.